Welcome back, and we're now hearing that Cardano whales have dumped 1 billion tokens. We're going to be getting into this. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on what is going on here. Am I worried? What do I think is going to be happening with the Cardano price as these whales are dropping the coins? I'm going to show you guys some of the data to back up what I'm saying, and we're also going to be talking about warping transactions in a little bit. But let's start here. Renowned crypto analyst, not the Cryptoviser, recently highlighted a significant development in the Cardano ADA ecosystem. Over the past week, the beginning of September 2023, large ADA holders have moved a substantial 1.02 billion ADA tokens from their wallets, prompting speculation about the cryptocurrency's future. The analysis indicates that these whale accounts holding between 10 million and 100 million ADA collectively possess a noteworthy 11.95 billion ADA, representing around 33.3% of the total ADA circulating supply, a fact that captures the attention of observers. Now, this is the actual tweet on X. It says Cardano whales have sold or redistributed roughly 1.02 billion ADA over the past week, worth roughly around $265 million. Now, this chart you see here shows the depth of wallets holding between 10 million and 100 million ADA. And you can see these lines right here are the price. And then over here, you can see what the axis actually means. But anyway, you can see towards the middle of August until the beginning of September, we saw a steep drop in the number of ADA that have been moved around. Now, people are wondering, Cryptoviser, are these coins being sold? Are they being moved? What is happening with the coins? Well, let's get into that right now. And by the way, don't forget to give the video a free thumbs up. This is the Cryptoviser podcast. I upload every single day of the year since 2018, so make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Do me a favor, give the video a free thumbs up. It's free to do. It helps with the algorithm. It lets me know you guys enjoy this kind of content. And again, it's free to do. Cardano is not free, but a thumbs up is definitely, absolutely free, at least for now. Anyway, so here's my analysis. Yes, it does look like these large wallets, whale wallets, were depleted. And this could be for many different reasons. One, the coins are going to be sold off. Two, the coins are being redistributed to other wallets. Or three, something else. What that something else is, there's so many different possibilities. It really doesn't matter at this point. For understanding what this impact this is going to have, there's a few different metrics I immediately go to understand. Now, personally, you guys know, in the middle of September when I'm recording this video, I want the price of ADA to go down. I want to hit 20 cents or below. Now, that's for me to re-enter into a Cardano position. Right now, we're at about 25 cents. So we're way closer to 20 cents and below than we are to 50 cents, than we are to $1, right? To get to 50 cents, we have to double. To get to 20 cents, we need to drop by 20%. 20% versus a 100% to get to 50 cents. Obviously, a 20% drop is highly more likely. So it would be very easy for me to say, yeah, they're probably going to be dumping these coins onto the market, and that's going to be very, very good for the price to go down, for me to acquire some, add to my position, and move forward. But that's not what I think is going on here. I actually think that these coins are being redistributed. Now, I'm going to show you the data to prove my thesis about this, which I could be wrong about, so make sure you guys do your own research. But if you guys have been following my channel for a while, I tried to go back and find this video, but sometimes the content of the video doesn't match the title exactly, or I'm talking about a side conversation on one of these videos that is not reflected in the title or the thumbnail. But essentially, sometime in, I think it was 2019, it could have been 2020, the beginning of the year, the Cardano Foundation was shuffling their wallets. And what we saw large movements. I'm pretty sure it was in January of 2020 or 2019. So if you guys want to go to those videos and find the video and link it down below, I'll pin your comment. I'll do a follow-up video with the content from that video. So if you guys want to look for that video and find it for me, let me know down below. But yeah, I found the video. Here's what the title is, and then I'll go pull it up. And I would appreciate that, guys, so much, because I went through the videos for a while, and I have over 3,000 videos on this channel, so it's very hard to kind of watch through every single video, but maybe some of you guys have the time to do that. But anyway, regardless, what we saw was the Cardano Foundation wallets were starting to get shuffled around. First, I was like, wait, are they going to be selling some of these coins? Or are they going to be redistributing these coins? No. They were redistributing to smaller wallets. For what reason? I don't know. Typically, a whale, let's say you have 100 million ADA, right? And you anticipate the price of Cardano is going to go up significantly in the next year or 2 years. You don't want to necessarily have all that risk in one wallet, right? You want to kind of diversify your risk. So maybe have 10 wallets, 20 wallets. So if you had, let's say, maybe even 100 wallets, you have 100 million ADA, you put 1 million ADA in 100 wallets, that's 100 million ADA, right? So that would diversify the risk and allow the owner of that coin to do different things with those coins. Stake, DeFi, trade, buy stuff with, whatever they want to do, right? And doing it from one wallet exposes more risk, it exposes more transaction insight that you may not want others to see, etc. So essentially what it appears to me is the same thing is happening because we're at around the same time in the cycle where a few months before the Bitcoin halving, the beginning of what many people believe is going to be the bull run, right? At the second half of 2023, 2024 is going to be the Bitcoin halving. So it's around the same time from my recollection of when Cardano Foundation was moving their wallets around, and they have billions of ADA, right? So the fact that they're going to move some of these coins into smaller wallets, if they move a 50 million ADA wallet and distribute that into 100 wallets with 500,000 in each, though that data wouldn't show on this chart anymore because this chart is only 10 million ADA and above to 100 million ADA. So if you had a 500,000 ADA in 100 wallets for a total of 50 million ADA, you wouldn't see that on this chart. It looks really bad because it appears like there potentially will be a sell-off, and maybe there will be. But typically when you see this amount of ADA moving, it's not going to just be sold, right? Typically whales hold and are participants in the ecosystem. Think about Charles Hoskinson, think about Jeremy Wood, the other founder of Cardano. Think about some of the Cardano stake pool operators, right? They're invested in the system. They're invested in the network. They're invested in the growth of the network. So it's highly unlikely that they're going to sell large quantities of ADA because they believe that ADA is going to outperform every other crypto and the price is going to go up so substantially. But plus, there is an aspect of the monetary system that they care about. Obviously, everyone wants to protect their financial future, but they also want to be a participant in the ecosystem, whether they're participating in governance and you need more ADA to be to have more of a vote, right? Or participate in staking or participate in DeFi or whatever the situation is. So it's highly unlikely, not impossible, but highly unlikely that when you see a large movement of this amount that it's getting sold off. But there's other metrics that we can look at to understand where this ADA is coming from or where it's going. One of those metrics, which I always go to first, is the live stake. Now, we don't have a chart, I don't think, of the live stake. Maybe on one of the sites we do, but it doesn't really matter for right now. Delegations. Yeah, I guess we can click withdrawals of delegations. But basically, this is the first thing that I look at. How much ADA is in live stake? And then you can look at the other data as well. This is delegations that have been removed, withdrawals from delegation, meaning if you were delegating or staking to a stake pool, you're no longer staked to that stake pool. So you can go through this data and actually look if like millions of ADA have been moved. But essentially, I look at very top line numbers most of the time, and especially on this channel, we look at top line numbers, and this is a top line number. 63% of all the ADA in circulation are being staked. This number has been basically 63% since the beginning of 2023. So it's barely moved. And if it's moved like 62 or 64%, just 1 percentage point up or down. And so every percent removed or added in the circulating supply, if 1% is removed from live stake, that would equate to around 350 million ADA. If this went to 64%, that would be an addition of about 360 million ADA because the circulating supply of ADA is 36 billion. 1% of that is 360 million, approximately. And so this number has not changed. So to me, even if the coins were being redistributed from one wallet or two wallets to like 100 wallets, If that coin was staked ADA, which it doesn't appear that it was, we would have seen a drop in the staked ADA number and then an increase back to where we are. Basically, it would cancel each other out, right? So it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So maybe they were restaking. Maybe they did that. I didn't go through the data to see if like we saw a huge drop in stake or not, but it doesn't matter. Staking number has not moved. Now, if we look at DeFi, decentralized finance in Cardano, and we look at the actual ADA percentage, to find this, you go to defilama.com, click on chains, click on Cardano, and then click on ADA. And you'll be able to see all of the ADA that's locked in the decentralized finance ecosystem. Now, when I zoom in here to the last month or 2 months or few months or whatever, what we can see is that since May of 2023, we've been increasing, but we had a little bit of a drop off here, right? You can see from September 4th, we had about 625 million ADA in DeFi. And currently, when I'm recording this video, we have 585 million ADA in DeFi, which is about 40 million ADA drop. 40 million. So that could definitely be part of where we saw some of this ADA being removed from these mega wallets, right? These mega whale wallets. Now, while a billion ADA have moved, it doesn't mean a billion ADA have been removed from these whale wallets, because you can see at the peak here in the middle of August, these whale wallets between 10 and 100 million ADA had about 12.35 billion ADA. And currently it's at about 11.95 billion ADA, which is about a 400 billion ADA decrease, right? If I'm doing the math right, I think it's 400 billion. No, it's 300 billion. Anyway, whatever, 300 or 400 billion, you guys get the point. So we've seen a reduction of, all right, let's start this over because I'm not making any sense. This is dollars, okay? They had $12.35 billion in these wallets. No, ADA in these wallets. Now they have 11.95 billion ADA in these wallets. So I'm going to pull up the calculator because otherwise I'm going to have you guys in the comments saying, but Cryptoviser, you can never do math on screen. You should just stop trying. All right, so there's 12.35 billion in the middle of August. That's how much we had. And now we have 11.95 billion ADA, which is 400 million ADA, right? So if you subtract 50 million from that, that's still 350 million ADA. We don't know what happened to you. So yeah, some of that could have been coming out of DeFi. It didn't come out of staking. So where did the coins go? Well, who else or what other entities have this amount of ADA, 33% of all the circulating supply in these wallets? I would imagine crypto exchanges. And it's very, very common for cryptocurrency exchanges like Coinbase and Binance and Kraken, Poloniex, etc., to redistribute their wallets every once in a while. This is a security measure. It's also for compliance, to show that they actually own these coins. And so once in a while, you will see these large crypto exchanges moving their ADA from one wallet to another, or from one wallet to 5 other wallets. And this movement, typically, like Binance usually tells the public that, oh, we're going to be moving some coins around, so keep an eye out for that. But other exchanges don't make these announcements. Generally speaking, my overarching analysis of this billion ADA being dumped is that this is just coins being moved from one wallet and being redistributed to other wallets. It does not appear that we have seen large volume changes in the price, in the trading of ADA. You guys can see any red lines down here would indicate selling, green is buying. And you could see that we've had some dips here. It looks like September 1, we had a dip. Maybe some of that was because of the movement of the ADA, right? The algorithms can identify what this analyst on Twitter identified very, very rapidly. And so the algorithms typically will dump on that kind of move, on that kind of large movement of coins, because typically when you see large movement of coins, the first thing people think is that people are going to sell their coins, right? And so then they get nervous, and the algorithms are they're coded to do that same thing. So if they see large movements, sell off, send an alert, and an analyst will go in and say, okay, does this look like there's going to be selling? The algorithm can identify whether there's a massive selling going on, and they can sell even more. That way they don't get caught up in that dump. But we haven't seen any real major moves here, any major like red lines that have lasted more than a few hours. So that tells me that we are not seeing major selling going on here. And so I'm not that concerned about the 1 billion ADA being dumped. Would I like a billion ADA to be dumped in the market? Sure. But that's because I want lower prices so that I can buy in at these lower prices. It is my view that when the price drops, which it will in my strategy, not financial advice, before the next Bitcoin halving, it's only going to happen for a very short period of time. That's what I think is going to happen. If we drop to 10 cents, drop to 15 cents, or drop to 18 cents, we will probably only be there for a short period of time. So there's going to be a very small window to make that purchase, in my view, and that's what I'm waiting for. So when I see info like this, like a billion ADA getting dumped, I'm getting a little bit like nervous, but a happy nervous, right? Because I'm like, oh, well, I may have to deploy some capital and buy some ADA up. By the time you're watching this video, maybe I already bought some ADA. I don't know. But we're also seeing that Cardano is continuing to grow. The annual inflation rate is now in the decreasing mode. We are still seeing inflation, but it's decreasing the amount of inflation. We also saw Cardano just introduced a game changer this past week, unveiling warp transactions. And essentially, warp transactions will allow it will allow a wallet to sidestep the need for a holder to have 1.14 ADA, which is the current transaction deposit that you would need to actually send a transaction. And essentially, to understand the warp transaction, it requires that we deep dive into how UTXOs work. That's unspent transaction output. Transactions are built, signed, and submitted on the network as well. In essence, a warp transaction is a pure UTXO transaction, leveraging multi-signature capability and operates without the need for smart contracts. The warp transactions are sent and signed by a sender. If I'm sending you money, I'm the sender. And it's also signed by the receiver, you, to accept those coins. So if I want to send you coins, I send you the coins, and then you can either accept them, reject them, or do nothing. And if you do nothing, it rejects it and cancels the transaction. And as me being the sender, if I send it, and let's say I sent you the wrong amount, or I want to rescind that transaction, if I pull back that transaction before you sign it and approve it, the transaction is canceled. This is a much more simpler way of doing multi-signature transactions. And this is the first and only current version of this in the Cardano blockchain. Warp transactions are exclusively on the Typhon wallet. Either sender or receiver can cancel or reject transactions, and tokens involved in the transactions are temporarily locked until the transaction either completes or is canceled. If the receiver does not sign within 24 hours, the warp transaction automatically expires. So there is a lot of really interesting developments that are coming in Cardano, and this is one of the reasons I'm super excited about it. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on the dump potential of 1 billion ADA. What do you think happened to that 1 billion ADA? I counted a little bit less than 1 billion on this chart, but I'm sure that he's taken into account drops and increases, so the dips and increases as well. I'm only looking at like the top line, 12.35 billion versus 11.95 billion. But if you add these increases and decreases, it probably adds up to a billion ADA. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. We upload every single day to bring you the latest happening in the financial world. Thanks for watching. Invest responsibly, do your own research, and crypto on.